Today, I am going to do a glowy, super easy makeup look. There's a trend going on around social media. I've seen it on Instagram where people will post social media isn't real and then write things about them that are very real and honest. So today I wanted to share parts of me that I've never shared and let you really in. Firstly, going to spray the Pixie Antioxidant Mist. Starting with the brightener, and applying that underneath. Now, color corrector helps for dark under eyes. If you struggle with dark under eyes, you want to go in with a peach color. I don't apply a lot of primer. I put on the Glow Shield sunscreen moisturizer stick, and then I apply foundation. Using the Luminous Serum Tint Revlon foundation. Very hydrating. Your skin looks very healthy with this one. So I actually struggle with CPTSD. It's short for complex PTSD. You develop it by consistent traumas, constant depression, like fighting in your head, just constant anxiety and not really having the tools how to properly live in the real world, how to properly have relationships. I apply the bronzer, the Milk Chocolate from Too Faced, and with this brush, the Sephora 56, I want something soft and quick. So because of complex PTSD, I fought very hard with my mental health, and I think that's purely the reason why I actually never quite made it, at least in my books, was because I truthfully could not handle it. Like, I could not stay consistent because of my mental health. Chronically, I always felt bad, and mentally, I was constantly fighting against darkness, as I say. I didn't quite understand how to live the life that I was living, no matter how good it really was. It was unbearable to live in it. I remember watching a movie and this girl said, "I'm not afraid to die, I'm afraid to live." And that stuck with me because that's how I genuinely felt. For the cheeks, I'm going to apply Warmth from Pixie by Petra. It is this beautiful peachy glow. My notes really quick. This is just the eyebrow pencil. I had a very hard time wanting to exist in the life that I had. I also tried to end my life and actually ended up in rehab, but that's a whole nother story. The point about this is I struggled so hard with my mental health. It was unbearable. I feel like it's been about 2.5 years, or if not more, my therapist recommended me to do TMS, a brain magnetic therapy, because no matter how much I tried, and I was trying really hard, when people think I'm a little obsessive with my therapy and I'm putting too much effort in it, I always feel very confused, because if I don't, I genuinely will not make it in this life, and I have too many good people around me not to try. And even that, I owe it to myself. In this life, I'm only given one. I want to live like people in the movies. So if I have to figure out how to get there, then I gotta figure out how to get there. I will not stay a victim to the life that was given to me. So I looked into TMS and it worked. It really worked. I was going in for about 2 months every day, zapping my brain, but it changed my life. You do have to look into your history if it's good for you. If you're someone struggling deeply with mental health, be open to looking at other resources. Oh wow, beautiful. Another thing my therapist recommended was ketamine, but I looked into it and I don't know. I picked TMS over it. It's what I felt more called to try, and it truly saved my life. I feel like it gave me the courage to try again, and not be so caught up with the flashbacks and nightmares and constant like emotional roller coaster that I felt like my body was just feeling chronically ill all the time, and I was always so angry and so upset, and depression was so bad. Like there were days I just did not care. It felt like this doom. Like I just felt the weight of life. I'm applying some of this glow on the eyelid. I felt so bad because my husband is such a good person. Like he makes life so much better for me. He's so patient and he's so kind. I cannot say enough good things about this guy. And that was the part that felt so confusing, was like, I don't understand. Like, this life is so good, yet I'm constantly like feeling like, Andy, I know that's so bad. I often describe it like when I was not my best, I wasn't a very reactive person, but I could feel this sense of being in a room full of darkness because I just had no energy. I had no strength to fight it. Deep down, I always knew that was not right. And both of my parents actually struggled with it really bad, depression. My real father was like an alcoholic, very, very abusive, just a lost soul. And my mother constantly depressed too, a lost soul as well. I knew what my future looked like if I didn't do anything about it. I had no choice. I had to try. If you are lost, take the first step in doing the inner work or seeking help, finding a therapist. We have an ad back there, I'm sorry. Or subscribe to a website called To Be Magnetic, and there is workshops. She has a book. Pick up the book first to see if you like her technique. There's meditations for inner work, and be consistent with it. Find a plan and commit to it for 30 days. You guys, look how beautiful my skin looks like right now. For the lashes, I'm going to apply these right here. These are the Press On Naked Natural 420. I'm going to apply mascara first, and then I'm just gonna pop these in. You do not need any glue. We're gonna do like the thinnest eyeliner. Anyway, that's why I kept coming in and out of social media. I don't want to put myself down because I've done a lot of great things and I worked very hard. Everything I've dreamed of, I've tried. But sometimes I wonder if I didn't have so many bad belief systems, would I have been somewhere else? But then I can't think like that because then I'll continue to be the victim to my past. We are going to apply mascara. I'm gonna do the Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced. Another very real thing about me, my mother chose a man over her children. And I mean that literally. For 6 years of my life, I was SA'd by a man that she consistently chose to stay with, no matter how much I screamed, how much I cried, how much I begged, she could not let him go. Wow, the lashes look so good. We're gonna let them dry out a little bit. I'm going to apply this beautiful Mesmerize liquid highlighter from Rare Beauty. I think that the worst part about the story of my mother wasn't the years of sexual abuse that I've been through. It was the constant disvalidation my mother put me through. She did everything and anything for you to not believe in your reality, and she chose to believe a man's reality more than her own children. And no matter how many warnings life gave her, she chose to stay. I had a really huge download, the reasons why my mother stayed. That deserves a video in itself. I'm also trying really hard not to bring shame into anyone, because we have to remember that everyone is doing the best that they can with what they know. I did a meditation last week, meeting my shadow, and in one of the meditations, I had to really look at my mother in the face and accept who she was, what she knew at that time. I don't know. It's hard because my soul in this life really truly believes I would never do such a thing. She also comes from a very hard life. Some people are still trying to figure it out. Maybe they are literally in the midst of the lesson and they just keep like looping in the same cycle, in the same karmic cycle. For some reason, for her, it was men. And then that's why I'm very passionate with a conversation about decentering men and knowing who you are, because men should add value into your life, not take away. And honestly, it makes such a more peaceful, joyful, romantic relationship. I'm gonna do the 10. This is why I don't have kids as well, because I am aware that my parenting will be the blueprint to a child's way of living their life. It's either going to be easy or it's either going to be very difficult. And I say difficult because your parenting will define a child's way on how they receive the world around them. And if you make it very difficult for them, they will have a very hard time living this life. Because a fried nervous system is not a very fun life, and it's why you see a lot of people numbing out, and I have been very guilty of that myself. My mother set me up for very horrible spiritual warfare in my head. I was a prisoner to my head. I quickly learned that this was not normal because I constantly seeked out therapists and mentors. Like, I always paid to do like workshops and classes, and I saw how healthy they were, and I'm like, that's not how I perceive that, but I like how you perceive that, or I love your confidence and your aura. I like how you communicate, or ooh, I love that the way you think. Let's add one more. Why not, right? This is why I'm talking so much about my past, because it has been my journey. The blueprint that my parents gave me set me up for a lot of hard lessons. Many times I was not a great friend because I had no idea how, and I am still trying to figure it out. Next month, I start a processing relationship group. I want to learn from the healthy people. I did not have one healthy person around me, not one, besides Ricky. And I have no idea how my marriage always became the exception, truthfully. I don't know why. Maybe because God knew that life was so difficult that God had to give me someone good. And I had a therapist once tell me, it's okay if Ricky, my husband, is your anchor. That's okay too. And I think that I often feel really bad about that because social media is so against men with every right. I have actually been no contact with my mom for a while. For a few years now, I think maybe 2 more, maybe 3. It's been a while. I started to realize that I need the energy to fight for a good life. If you want to heal from that wound, you do have to remove yourself from the one that keeps poking at it. Before yesterday, I did a huge grief purge. I listened to the song Mine from Kelly Clarkson, and I just cried it out and grieved. For some reason, that's the life I was given. In this lifetime, I was not blessed to have good parents, and that's okay. That's what I chose in this life, or someone bigger than me chose that for me. They saw something I didn't. My life is not always creativity. My mental health took a lot of my life, but it's taught me so much about myself. I'm not mad at it because I love the life that I'm living now. I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, like, it's going to get better, I promise. The hard work is gonna pay off. I still have moments that are very difficult. Like, I tried watching the movie Obsession, that horror one, and I couldn't. I had a whole panic attack because horror movies feel too close to home. I'm telling you, I lived a very terrifying life. Life hasn't always been so easy, and there were many times I had no idea if I could ever say this out loud. But now I simply do not care anymore to silence myself. That's really who I am. I don't come from a fun background. Oftentimes, when everyone is sharing nostalgic memories, I don't often have good ones in my head. Every part of my life feels very traumatic for me. And that's okay. It is who I am. It's made me who I am. I'm not ashamed to be who I am and the background that I've come from. I'm learning to accept all parts of myself, even parts of myself that feel very scary to say out loud. I'm going to apply a little bit of foundation powder underneath the eyes. I hope my delivery is light and does not feel very heavy to your heart. I love this trend because it reminds us that social media is just an illusion. You don't even know. Do not believe everything or compare yourself to anyone online. Some people are in different phases of their life, and we are all, like I keep saying, doing the best that we can. For my lips, I put on this Pixie by Petra lip tone in Prettiness. It's a very pretty pink. It is a pH reactive gloss.